Fitzgerald & Halliday celebrates 30 years of providing the highest level of planning services to its clients. Over these 30 years, we've been providing consulting in 4 key service areas: community planning, environmental planning, mobility planning, and public involvement. The story of FHI began in 1987 in the West End of Hartford at 157 Oxford Street. The firm started as a one-person, woman-owned firm with its corporate office being the home of Ruth Fitzgerald. Within the first few years, administrative professionals were hired to help with various areas of the business, and in 1990, the first full-time employee was hired.
The first few years of FHI were much different than they were now, that's for sure. At that time, there were only 3 of us that were actually really doing any steady work. Myself, as a home office person, I had my own business and wasn't even an official employee then. And so I worked from my house, and Claudia came in a couple days a week, and of course Ruth. We had very little technology in that it just didn't exist then. No one heard of email. We did have faxes. We had a fax. We all had computers, but I had a dot matrix printer. I don't know if anybody remembers those.
FHI experienced a significant growth spurt in the early 2000s, and much thought was given to a major reorganization, relocation of the office, and to ownership transitioning. It was then FHI moved its headquarters to 72 Cedar Street. This was an important milestone for FHI. The focus on quality of product services and client satisfaction continued to build the reputation of the firm. With the continued growth of the firm, it was necessary for FHI to have its own office space, be organized differently to foster leadership, and to begin transitioning the ownership of the company. In 2006, the first stock transfer was made and Ruth no longer was the sole owner.
I remember back from my first staff meeting in Ruth's conference room being her dining room, and when she said, "I'm looking to sell the company," and my first thought was, oh my, we're going to get bought by some large firm. I think the beauty of FHI and what we are, we have employees that own the company, we have employees that think like owners, and what we have is we control our destiny, we control how we want.
The transition of leadership also was taking shape. Susan Van Benschoten was appointed as FHI's president in 2010.
What surprised me in the transition of presidency from Ruth to me was, well, 2 things. One was how different it actually felt from what I expected. I was doing a lot of the job already in the year or 2 up to the actual official date when we flipped the switch. But actually standing in Ruth's shoes felt different. And it's one thing to do the job, or to do parts of the job, but it's another thing to be fully responsible for your decision.
There have been so many accomplishments throughout the years.
We've accomplished in 7 years. There's been some major things like this new office space, the New York City office, our strategic plan that we've completed one and now we're doing another, and the growth and success of the company. So looking back, that's just really satisfying that I've had such a great team working together to do that.
FHI staff embrace new leadership opportunities and growth into new geographies as the company continued to grow.
Well, I started working with FHI in 2001, so that would be 16 years ago. And I started as a sub-consultant, working on many projects over a course of several years, providing bicycle and pedestrian expertise on those projects. And it was after we won the Safe Routes School contract with the state. It was the first round of contracts for that type of work with the state, that Ken Livingston said, hey, we're going to be working together a lot on this. Why don't you just come on board? So I met with Susan and Ken and Carla, of course, and I decided to come on board as a full-time employee. in 2010. I came on as a senior planner, and so at that point I was mainly assisting with projects, not managing any projects at that time. And I would say that FHI really provided an atmosphere and an environment that allowed me to quickly mature in the firm and climb through the ranks to start managing my own projects, smaller projects at first, or managing tasks within larger projects. And within 3 or 4 years, I became a project manager, was managing small projects, and then eventually that led to managing larger projects.
Expanding our services into a new geography was a very big challenge, but a rewarding experience.
It took a lot of hard work, a lot of pounding the pavement, lots of miles logged on the New Jersey Turnpike, going to different professional functions like SMPS breakfasts at 7:30 in the morning in North Jersey, or WTS events. We were everywhere. We made it a point of really getting out and meeting people, shaking the hands, and telling them all about us.
FHI continued to strengthen its reputation and continued building strong relationships with its clients.
My perception of FHI before joining was having worked with FHI as a sub-consultant at my previous firm, which was a company of 40,000 as opposed to 40-something. I knew FHI had a very good reputation and knew Marcy and Mike and others, and of course the Howard Stein Hudson group in New York. But now that I've joined, I realize there's an even greater level of sophistication, technical skill, and services offered by the company that I wasn't aware of in the past, and it's continually impressive.
Another move became imminent. With the success of more growth, FHI relocated to 416 Asylum Street in 2014. The office space was designed to reflect FHI's core values of character, excellence, and true community. The space lends to collaboration, teamwork, and an environment where the passion of staff can shine. Also in 2014, FHI could not be more pleased to have been presented with an opportunity to expand into the New York City metro area. FHI acquired the New York City operations of Howard Stein Hudson, which led to a significant amount of growth in operations and size very quickly. It was a perfect union of culture, values, and top talent of skills to add to FHI's already impressive portfolio.
The transition from Howard Stein Hudson to FHI has been great. One of my favorite things is that we were really able to keep that small family feeling.
As FHI moves forward into its next era, the company will position itself to be recognized as a regional full-service planning firm with a national reputation for leading-edge planning and design. FHI's value-added consulting services will continue to focus on high-quality service, creative products, and strong client relationships. And of course, there is no FHI without its staff that truly enjoys the planning work and embraces serving the communities. We are passionate, innovative, full of life, and simply fun to work with and be around. Happy 30th anniversary, FHI. May there be many more years of high-quality service that meets the needs of our community.